Okay, okay. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, guys. Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Please, can you all hear me? Please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Good evening, good evening, good evening. All right, so if you are joining us from a different time zone, maybe in the afternoon, please feel free to drop good afternoon. If it's morning over there, also drop. Let's just have a little bit of fun. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for the comments. Yes, nice. I trust your day was as interesting as mine, and as yes, I trust your day was productive, guys. All right, thank you, Joy, Steve. Thank you, Juliet. Thank you, Adirunke, Christiana, Ivy, Temitope. Good evening, guys. So now is a good time to pick up your phone and call your friends. Please pick up your phone, send a WhatsApp message, give them a phone call, tell them we are starting. We are starting, right? We have a lot to cover, so we want to make best use of our time, right? Then, so as usual, we'll give them little grace so they can join in with us. So by exactly 10 minutes past time, we will be starting. We will be starting by exactly 10 minutes past time. All right. Glad to hear this that your day was productive. Boluwati. Boluwati fed joy. That's nice. That's great to hear. All right. Good evening, gifts. Yes, thank you very much. I'm also happy to have you guys on this session in this session once again. Yes, my day was great. Thank you very much. Um, Gifts. Yes, thank you. Priscilla, my day was stressful but great. All right, I understand that feeling. It's stressful, but you are glad it went exactly that way. So nice, nice, nice. Priscilla, YouTube user. I think I've noticed this particular name, YouTube user. Good evening. How you doing? All right, Florence Olajumoke. Good evening. How you doing? Happiness, peace, Ogud, Ogudu. Right. I got the pronunciation. Yeah, my day was nice. Thank you very much. A bit stressful, but I mean, I'm glad it went the way it did. Yeah. Yeah, Pamela Henry, yes, it was a blessed day. Thank you very much. Also, the sibling squad. Yeah, how you doing? Aleke Promise. Good evening. How you doing? All right. Obaro, good evening. Oh my God. Adeshola, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Good evening, Adeshola Adesonya. All right. Please acknowledge now my boss at the top. All right. Good evening. I hope I'll get a comment as regards to this. All right. Esther, good evening. Good evening, Jesu Misola. Good evening, Bola. Boladele. Good evening, Amina. Oh, okay. Sincere apologies, Adeshola. You know it's a lot, but definitely I try my possible best. All right. So give me a smile in the comment section. Let me know you're cool with me now. All right. Bamidele Abigail. Good evening. Oh, sorry. Oh, stressful. All right. Yes, it was nice. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. All right. Glad to hear this, Taiwo. Okay, Adeshola, I'm glad you're smiling now. Yes, so we have just 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Please ring your friends, ring them, ring them, ring them. Let's move tonight. All right, so just a quick one, guys. I hope we all have registered for the LinkedIn optimization for career success session with Jennifer Blessing. I hope everybody has done that. I hope everybody has registered. It's going to be very, 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 very nice. Very, very nice. It's going to be a wonderful session. So please, at the end of the day, we are all learning this to be professionals, right? So you need to understand how to position yourself as a professional, right? And then you need to ace the job interview. You need to get recruited as soon as possible. All right. So check the LinkedIn profile of Incubator Hub, right, in order for you to get more information as regard this. So please, I would really, really love for most of us, for all of us, right? I know there will be very interesting persons, but at least let's have most of us on that session so we all can learn how to be strategic about our career growth. All right, so thank you guys. So this is 11 minutes past time. 11 minutes past time. So we will jump to it. We're going to jump to what we have for today. All right. So welcome guys. So today we will be looking at incident response planning. Incident response planning. So, all right. So quickly in the comment section, what do you understand by incident response? Please just drop your comments now. Drop your comment. Sharp, 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 sharp. Let me use my Nigerian English. Right? Sharp, 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 sharp. So let's drop the comment and let's move for tonight. So as usual, my name is Akobe Ajibolu Emmanuel, right? I'm a Christian, I'm a penetration tester, security analyst. I have a couple of certifications to my belt. I work for a company here in Abuja, Nigeria with the name Cyber Plural Limited, and I'm a graduate of cybersecurity science from the Federal University of Technology, Mina, right? Attached to this particular slide is the link to my LinkedIn profile for those who might want to connect. So just a quick shout out to those who have connected with me. Right. I love connecting with you guys. All right. So thank you all. And I'm glad we've connected. Okay. So I have comments coming in already from Aminat. How you respond to an attack. Beautifully said. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. So yes, so what is our objective? What are our objective for today? Right. So by the end of the session, you will understand the stages of an incident response plan. Right. You will learn how to build an effective incident response team and process. And also you will be prepared to handle security incidents eff- efficiently and effectively. All right. So let me take a quick look at the comment section as we treat the introduction to incident response module for today. All right. So I have one from Baron, right? Sounds like having a contingency plan, have because no system. Beautifully said, Baron. Beautifully said, Baron. Gift Martindale incident response plan help IT staff to detect, respond to, and recover from a network. Beautifully said, Gift, right? Okoli Grace, how to respond. Beautifully said. Onyekwere Miracle, the plan on how to respond to an attack. Okay, nice, 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 nice. I think today I might just end up being the student because everybody's just giving nice, nice answers, right? Okay, now I like this comment from Aleke Promise, right? Promise mention. Is it Aleke Promise? It's yes, document. Nice, nice. It's like a document. I like that angle. I like that angle. It's like a document in IT that gives security analysts how to respond to an attack. Not exactly, but I like the part that you mentioned that it might bet what we call it might bet a document. So that's nice. I like that. Then Jesu Sola. Incident response is the walkthrough process to take when beautiful. Thank you very much, Jesu Sola Ilori. Yes, I like that. I like that. Okay, so guys, please don't be angry with this is quite long from happiness. So let me before happiness says I did not read that long message. So incident response IR refers to the process of identifying, containing, eradicating, and recovering from a cyber breach or cyber attack. It involves structured approach to managing. This is so nice, happiness. But now I'm tempted to think, to believe that you use ChatGPT or an AI to give me this answer. All right. So Eunice, incident response plan helps plan, detect, and respond to cyber threats. All right. So thank you very much, guys. If I should read all these comments, we might end up not completing what we have planned for today. So please permit me if I did not read your comment. I'm sure I will definitely read it out in the next one. Okay. So what exactly is incident response? So incident response is a structured, I have here that incident response is a structured approach, right? Used to address and manage the aftermath of a security breach or attack. Now let me take it again. It is a structured approach, right, which is used to address and manage the aftermath of a security breach or attack. So now you notice that something bad thing must have happened before we come to what incident response. That means maybe it's a case of successful breach or it's a case of what successful attack. Right now, the goal of incident response is to minimize damage, right? That is one. It's also towards to reduce recovery time, and it is to ensure that the incident does not occur again, does not reoccur. That means it doesn't occur again. Now, this is very, very important. You must understand that the goal of incident response, one, is to what? Minimize damage. That means, okay, we've been breached, we've been attacked, we've been hacked. But how can we reduce the level of damage that the attacker that the level of damage of this particular breach? Now, okay, we've been attacked, we've been hacked, but how can we reduce our recovery time? How soonest can we get back to full operation? Then also ensure, most importantly, we must learn from this particular case and therefore ensure that it does not reoccur, that it doesn't repeat itself again. Right? So I want to believe this is very well explained. So now, why is incident response planning very important? Why incident response plan is important? Why is this important, right? So one is to what? Minimize damage. Incident response plan is to what? Minimize damage. So just like somebody mentioned in the comment that, oh, no system is 100% security. In fact, we have a saying in information security world that, oh, it's not a matter of okay, now let me phrase this well. Oh, it's only oh God. I can't. Okay, as we move on, I believe I will articulate it well and then say it. Yes. So, but the whole point I'm driving at is it's not a matter of, yes, it's not a matter of if you will get hacked. It's a matter of when an organization will get hacked. So it's not an in security, we do not say, oh, if this organization gets hacked. No, it is when the organization gets hacked. So we actually prepare for worst case scenario, so that should in case the very worst happens, we can get back to full operation as soon as possible. We can move back to operation. We can get the company back on its feet, so we don't stay crying. Right? So the very first reason why we need this is to minimize damage. So having a plan in place allow for what? A swift response, which can reduce the severity of the attack. So we respond quickly to an attack. We respond quickly to an incident. Now, two, it is also for what? Meeting legal and compliance requirements. So many compliance frameworks such as the GDPR and the PCI DSS requires organizations to have an incident response plan, right, and notify authorities within a specific time frame from following what? A breach. Following a breach. Okay. Then thirdly, it's what? Why do we need Thank you very much. Why do we need why is incident response planning important? It helps what? Preserving business continuity. Right. So a well-executed incident response ensures that the business can resume normal operation as quickly as possible, reducing financial and reputational losses. Right? Then we have learning from incidents. Very, very important. We must learn from a particular breach so that it does not repeat itself again. So post-incident analysis allow organizations to what? Understand what went wrong. So it's not just that, oh, our system is back online, we are good to go now, and then let's resume. No, no, no. We must go back to, okay, what exactly led to this breach? What exactly led to the success of this attack, right? So we must understand, not just look at, we must also understand what went wrong. We must then fix the vulnerabilities and avoid similar incidents in the future. Right? Okay. So, having explained this now, do anybody have any comments before we proceed? Any comments? Any question? Right? I believe I have explained this as best as I can. But please, if it's not clear, let me know in the comment section. Let's do this quickly in 2 minutes. So by exactly 25 minutes past time, we will move on to the next session of this module. All right, guys. So I'm waiting for your comment. All right. So Boluwa said, yes, sir. Okay. All right. I like this from Abiodun Folusho, right? Incident response requires preparation ahead. Yes, we plan ahead, right? So we plan ahead that we will get hacked, but how do we respond to a security breach? Now, there's one funny thing I would like to point out, right? So, do anybody, if you are curious like me, you might be wondering, okay, why is it called incident response? Why is it not called incident reaction? So, what is the difference between responding to an incident? This is my question. What is the difference between responding to an incident and what? Reacting to an incident? So, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. All right, thank you very much. Gift said, like you said, sir, a cybersecurity professional must know what the problem is before proceeding. Then that is learning from an incident. All right, thank you very much. Happiness. Okay, I love that it is clear. All right, so thank you very much, Miracle. Reaction is an emotion, responding is an action. I like that. I like that. That is beautifully said. Beautifully said. All right. Flourish, responding has to do with finding solution to the incident. Very, very correct. Thank you, Flourish. All right. So more comments, guys. More comments, guys. Before we move on. More comments. Seems everybody is tired today. What is that lady's name? The one that said, I do not read her comments. I can't remember your name. Now I want to see your comments. I'm sure if I should see your name, it will come back. All right. All right, all right. No comment, no comments. Right, so let's just wait a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, so let me move on to the next part of our side. Okay, okay. Okay, I have other comments, so let's quickly touch them. Damilola Adeniyi, response is what you do to improve your situation, while reaction is more like what you feel. I want to believe you meant reaction in the later part. Yes, correct. Gift responding means attending to a problem that has happened, while reaction is just looking at what the problem is. Not totally correct. Gift, not totally correct. That's totally correct. Okay. Now I have a lot of comments flocking in. Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I like this from Evania, right? Responding means being proactive. Thank you. I love that. Right. Enyidamola said responding has to do with fixing. Reaction is just about giving excuses. Now not totally correct, but I understand your point of view. That's nice. That's nice. Usimen response needs more thinking than that of an action. Okay. Okay. Okay, Busola, reaction is impulsive. Thank you. I love this. It is impulsive while response is deliberate. Yes, thank you. Now you're explaining what the other person was trying to say when she said emotion, right? Thank you very much. I love this. In fact, let's have this on our screen for a while. Yes, Busola beautifully said, right? Jesu Gbemisola, incident response does not take the organization by surprise, while reaction can come out. Okay, yes, yes, yes. So if you are prepared for something, you will not be totally surprised when it happens. Reaction, oh, you are totally shocked, you don't know what to do, right? You end up getting confused. Boluwatife Joy, response means the attack is expected and there's a backup plan. Reaction means there is, okay, very well said, very well said. Priscilla, reaction is an instinctive emotional response to a situation. It's often impulsive and can be influenced by our past experience of fear. On the other hand, responding is a more deliberate action. Very well said, very well said, very well said. All right, so I have a lot of comments, but guys, let's just move. Please, let's move. Sorry if I didn't touch your comments. Sorry, please. Now let's move forward. So now, incident response team, right? Key component of an incident response plan. So there are some things we need to be in place in order to have what a good incident response plan. So those are the things that we'll be looking at right now. We are going to be looking, okay, what do we need to have in place in order to make sure that our incident response plan is good. So the very first thing is what? Incident response team. We must have a good IR team. Must have a good IR team for us to be able to what? Properly execute an incident response plan. So an effective response starts with a dedicated team. Key roles, right? So we must have a dedicated team. We must have individuals in the organization who are employed for this, whose job description include incident response, so that okay, when an attack occurs, when a breach occurs, we are not just it is not just then that we are trying to figure out who is supposed to work towards to curtail the attack. Right? So it's the very first person and key role, right? This is not just all, but we must try to have these guys on the team. We must try to have these guys on the table. So incident coordinator who acts as the overseer. So the incident coordinator is going to oversee the response efforts and coordinate the team. We need somebody to coordinate the orchestra. Do you understand? Then we need what? A security analyst. So the security analyst is going to what? Investigate and contain the incident. Right. Next, we need an IT support. So the IT support is going to be in charge of what? Restoring system and data that got lost or breached during the incident. Then we are going to need legal and compliance folks, right, who are going to ensure adherence to regulatory obligations. So, okay, we have to inform the regulatory body that our organization have been hacked. So, who is going to help us do this while we are trying to bring back the server? Who is going to help us communicate? Who is going to help us do PR with the general public? So, we need what? PR and communication, who's going to handle internal and external communication. So you must inform your user. Remember the document we reviewed yesterday. You must be able to you must inform your user that, okay, we got breached, but the situation is in control. But now the way with which you give out this information, the way with which you dish out this information to your customers is also important, right? So you need people that are very good with words. You need people that are good with communication so they can help you relay this properly to your user is in such a manner that they can understand. So now let me go over this list again. So we need a coordinator, we need a security analyst, we need the IT support who is going to be restoring the system, we need the compliance and the legal people. Okay, so who do we need to talk to? Which key government parastatal do we need to talk to? How do we draft the necessary documents? Okay, what's the fine? All these things get handled by the legal and the compliance folks. Then we need PR and communication. We need somebody that can properly communicate this to the public, somebody that can properly communicate this to the necessary stakeholders, somebody that can properly communicate this to what? Concerned bodies. Okay, PR. I have a question from Gift. Sir, what is PR? So PR is public relation. Public relation. So just think of it as somebody who is going to be helping you relay information to the public. All right. Okay, so let's move. So next, now we need a communication plan. So we have our team set up, right? We have the right set of persons on our team, right? We built a good team, but now we also need a plan on how to communicate. Right, so clear communication I have here is vital during an incident. Remember that you people said, okay, for incident response, what things are thoroughly planned, right? We are not just reacting, we are not just reacting, right? So we need a clear means of what communication during an incident. So develop a plan. We must develop a plan that what outline who needs to be informed, right? So what authority, what body do we need to inform that we've been breached, right? And at what stage do we need to inform this body? So we have documenting things like, okay, you should inform the concerned bodies at least at most 48 hours after a breach. So these are things you must look at, right? Now, we are not just going to be looking at who needs to be informed and at what stage. We'll also be looking at the method for reporting an incident. Right? Okay, so are we going to be doing it through a phone call? Are we going to be doing it through an email? Are we going to be doing it through a ticket system? So we must also outline how we are going to go about what the communication. So the method with which we are going to use for reporting this incident. Then thirdly, it's also important to plan for the internal communication to notify stakeholders and team. So your plan must outline internal communication in order to notify stakeholders and teams. So everybody, who do we need to inform, right? Do we need to inform all heads of department so they can relay the information to members of their team? Okay, do we need to inform the board? Okay, so we need to internal communication in order to notify stakeholders, right? And then part of this plan, we also need external communication. So we must plan how do, okay, for internal, how do we communicate this to the team? How do we communicate this within the organization? Now, for external communication, right, how do we communicate this with the public? How do we communicate this with people outside our organization, right? So including notifying regulators and customers if necessary. All right. So thirdly, we need is what? Tools and resources. So we must identify the tools. The plan must identify tools and tools required for effective incident response. So what tools will we be needing when an incident occurs? What tool will we be needing when an incident happens? So example of tools like this is what? Security information and event management, SIM system for detection, okay, forensic tools for investigation. So we are going to look at the logs on the SIM. We are going to look at the alerts on the SIM too. Okay, how did it happen? Stuff like that. Then we also look at what? Forensic. We are going to be performing forensic. Okay, so the server, let's get the log, let's investigate, stuff like that. So we need to what? Properly plan the forensic tools which we'll be using for what? For investigation. Right. Next, we need what? Backup system for data recovery. So it's not just, oh, after the incident, an incident has happened, that's when you just realize that backup is important. So we need to what? Make plan for what? Backup system. Right? Then we need a playbook for common incident type. So what is a playbook? A playbook is simply a step by step, a document which contains what? Step by step process of how things are being done. So whoever is available on the team, maybe there's a new employee, maybe there's a new member of the team, anybody will give these documents to, they know what to do by simply following the steps highlighted in this document known as what? As a playbook. So I have a few questions. I have one question here from Favor Alabi. It says, what are forensic tools? So these are tools used for what is known as what? Digital forensic. So just like in real life, there's forensic, right? When there's a crime, then they try to investigate. The forensic department is going to get things like fingerprint. They're going to investigate the bullet. They're going to investigate how the window got broken, all those kind of things. You've seen them in cool movies. Like if you've seen The Flash, like me, like, oh, Flash was like a forensic guy, right? So we also have tools that we use to do this digitally. Right. So for Oluwafemi Opeyemi, what is a ticket system? This is a bit hard for me to explain to you here, but just think of it as a tool, right? Or let me not use the word tool. Think of it as a software that is used for what? Internal communication in an organization. I just think of it that way. That will help you to easily grasp what a ticketing system is. All right. Okay, so Eunice said, please mention some of these forensic tools. So we have autopsy, right? We have autopsy, right? We have volatility, right? We have tools like Celebrite. We have what other tools? Yeah, these are just a few ones I can quickly mention right now, right? Okay. So Gift is asking, is backup only necessary after a breach in data? No, you need backup before the breach, You need backup before the breach. You need backup before the breach. So what is the meaning of phishing? Okay, that's a wonderful question. I will explain that way. Let's not go into that. That might derail us for today. But you can quickly look that up online, please, because we've treated things like that. Right? Then Daniel Joy say autopsy. Yes, autopsy. Check it up online. It's exactly the same autopsy you had. Yes. Don't worry. Okay, just a quick one. Go to your browser, browse digital forensic tools, right? Then you should get a list of these tools. So let's do something interesting. So okay, so let me do that here. So digital forensic tools. Okay, so you can see autopsy here, right? This is volatility for memory forensic, right? Forensic toolkit. We have Kane, right? We have the sleuth kit. So this sleuth kit is like the autopsy is like the graphical user interface version. We have Celebrite, like that. Okay, so we have all of this. Okay, so let's get back to business. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. So you need backup system for data recovery. So just like I was explaining to the lady who asked the question, so you need backup before an incident. If you are just backing up after an incident, then you don't have the data to restore. You understand? Then playbook for what? Common incident type. So you need a playbook that you can follow in order to respond to common incidents. Okay, so if we have a case of a phishing attack, this is how we respond to it. Okay, maybe it's an insider threat, maybe it's a rogue employee. This is how we respond to these things. So you properly document all of this, right? So now also is what policy and procedure, right? So your plan should contain documented procedures which ensures that all team members follow consistent step during an incident. So emphasis on what? On the consistent step. So it must be consistent, right? So it's not like Mr. A is doing something, Mr. B is doing something, another thing which is entirely different. Okay, right? So these include incident identification. So we must understand how to recognize when an incident has occurred. Then we have categorization and prioritization, right? So assessing the severity and the damage. Okay, so an incident has occurred, but what is the level of damage that this has done to our organization? So we need to be able to what we need to be able to what's the word now? What's the word? We need to be able to categorize we need to be able to categorize and prioritize things. So okay, we need to be yes, we need to be able to categorize and prioritize things, right? So we must assess the severity and the impact. Then thirdly is what? Documentation. So recording every action taken during the incident. So we must properly document it. So if we did A, we write it down. We did B, then we write it down. This is the log. This is what the log look like. Take a screenshot and then we add it to the document. Okay, so now guys, let's take questions shortly. So we will be taking I will be taking your question and let's do this for 3 minutes and then we move on. Let's do this for 3 minutes and then we move on, please. I await your question, guys, and your contribution also. Okay, so I have one from Happiness. What is an insider threat? So insider threat is there's somebody in your organization who is a threat. Does that make sense, right? So an example is a rogue employee. Maybe there's a member of your team who is not satisfied with what you are doing, right? Okay, so they decide to betray the organization. Let's put it that way, right? Yeah. So that is a typical example of insider threats. We call them rogue employees. So somebody maybe rogue or disgruntled employee, they are not satisfied with somebody in the company, they are not satisfied with how the company is working, so they decide to sabotage things within the organization, right? So so that is for happiness. Hot topic, sir. Please, why can't I DM you on Telegram? Yes, please. My Telegram is private, please. Sorry about that. Okay. So Queen Beja. Okay, thank you very much, Queen Beja, for the beautiful answer. Adeleke promise. When an IP address or host address is not found in a browser, is it as a result of an incident response? Not really, not really, not really. Aleke promise. Okay. So Etinola Rachel. Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel. Please, I've been finding it difficult to install VirtualBox. Okay, but somebody gave a beautiful answer to that on the Telegram channel. Yes. So just look through the Telegram channel, you'll find the answer to that. And if you still have the problem, then I'll see how I can drop a solution on the Telegram channel also. Okay, thank you very much, Bola Dele. Insider threat, disgruntled employee, especially with administrative access. Beautifully said. Okay, so Onyekwere Miracle, sir, by reporting if there is a breach, will they assist to respond to this incident or they are just justifying the customer? Yes, so bodies here in Nigeria, I mean they work alongside you. They work alongside you. I've experienced this. They work with you. Yes, so they will assist in their own capacity. Let's put it that way. In their own capacity. So you don't expect them to do your job for you, but definitely they will assist your organization. Right, then hot topic. Okay, thank you. But how do I send you a message for clarification on cybersecurity? Yeah, tag me on the Telegram group, hot topic. Tag me on the Telegram group. Okay, so Jesugbemisola Olori. When an organization experiences customer data breach, does the organization reach out to the customer knowing they might lose their trust? Yeah, so that's why I said you must have good communication team, right? So after you've informed the necessary body, right? After you've informed the necessary regulatory bodies, right? You also need to find a way. It is expected of you to tell your customers it is their data that got stolen, it is their data that got compromised after all, so they deserve to hear about it. So you need somebody that can properly communicate this to them. You get, so that's why you need somebody who is good with PR and communication. Okay, so Daniel Joy, okay, I don't know why you're not on the Telegram group. Okay, but you should definitely try to be on the Telegram group. No Sibling Squad is the same Telegram group. Queen Beja incident threats is a category of risks posed by those. Okay, we have an insider threat. Sorry. Okay, beautifully said. Thank you. So Okoli Grace, how fast can one attend to the security breach in a company in order for it not to cause harm? So there's no specific date, right? But I mean, the faster the better. Let's put it that way. The faster the better. Okay, so how do I Taiwo, I didn't see your question. Please, can you retype it, Taiwo? All right. So, Bamitale, Mr. Emmanuel, please, how do I handle my phone issue? I dropped the message for you on the Telegram group about that. Okay, I will look through the message again. I will look through and respond to you as soon as possible on that. Christiana Chukusa, when are you going to give us an assignment? I mean, I've been giving you little assignments in this interactive session because I remember I gave you one yesterday. So yeah, but definitely you get one on the learning platform, right? Very soon. You get one there. Okay. Okay, so which other one? Onyekwere Miracle. Has there been any time a ransomware situation will ever be a win-win, like pay and get your data back? This is a tricky question. So it is advisable not to pay the ransomware group. Yeah, that's the professional advice. But we know there are some situations where you have to pay. So we have organizations now. It's also part of services offered by cybersecurity companies, right? Sometimes you need a professional to help you negotiate the ransom with the ransomware gang, right? So you do not get extorted of more money, right? Because most time it's always a case of extortion, right? So we do not advise that you pay ransom, but if there is need, right, then you need to get a professional to help you handle that. Okay, so these questions, all right, let me leave these Telegram group questions. And yes, so this is 7:52. So let's quickly take our break and then we will be back shortly in the next 10 minutes, right? So let's say 5 minutes past 8 my time, we will continue our study together. All right. So thank you very much, guys. So please go for your break now and let's all come back to learn by exactly 7:05. All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. All right. Can you all hear me now? All right. I want to believe everybody can hear me. Okay. So for the lady who was asking me to answer her questions, I noted your question before it got flooded. Right. So if a bank network is not available, is it as a result of incident response? Not necessarily. So there are a lot of reasons why a bank network might be unavailable. Maybe the network is jam packed, right? Maybe there's high traffic. So there are a lot of reasons. You can't just conclude that it is as a result of incident response. All right. So that's the answer to your question. Okay. All right, guys. So let's move on. So we have what we call incident response life cycle. Incident response life cycle. So someone was asking, okay, what's the time for incident response? So we'll be looking at the life cycle for incident response. All right, so the very first stage is preparation. The very first stage is preparation. So this phase involves creating and testing the incident response plan, right? Before an incident occurs. So key activities include what? Defining rules, right? Policies and communication plan, right? Regularly training employees on security awareness and response procedures, then also conducting risk assessments to identify potential threats. All right, so the very first stage, the very first phase of an incident response life cycle, right? So what the process looks like is preparation. Is preparation, right? So this phase involves creating and testing the incident response, right? Right? Key activities in this particular stage involves defining roles, policies, and communication plan. Right? Then you need to, in order to prepare, you also need to what regularly train the employee of your organization on security awareness and the response procedures. So you need to do drills, right? You need to have test drills, right? And then what? Conducting risk assessments to identify potential threats. Okay, next is what? Identification. The second stage is what? Identification. So we've prepared. So now we need to be able to what? Identify, we need to be able to detect incidents quickly, right? So the ability to detect incidents quickly is critical. So this phase involve monitoring tools like SIM, like IDPs, like I am sorry, IDS, IPS, which is intrusion detection system, prevention system, right? To identify suspicious activity within the organization IT infrastructure or within the organization IT environment. Now you need to look out for things called indicators of compromise, right, which are evidence that an attack has occurred. So you need to be able to realize, okay, have we been breached? Okay, we've been breached. It is when you know that you've been breached that you can start responding. So you can't respond to an incident except you know that you have been breached, right? Then also you need to determine the type and the scope of the incident. So you need to be able to determine the type and the scope of the incident. Okay, so that is it for identification stage, right? Next is containment, right? So in the containment phase, limiting the spread of an attack is essential to maximize damage. So we must be able to limit the impact of disaster. We must be able to limit the disaster impact. We must be able to limit the level of damage that the successful breach or the successful attack can do to the organization. So containment strategy can be either short term or long term. So short time, right, isolate affected systems to prevent further damage. Remember the other time when we were talking about malware, we said once you notice that a system has been infected with malware, the first thing you want to do is to isolate that system, remove it from the network, right? So you make sure that the malware does not spread. Okay, then also we need long term, so plan for system recovery and future prevention. Next is, okay, after we've oh, after we've contained the situation, the next thing is what? Is eradication. So we've identified that this system has been infected, we've disconnected it from the network, we've isolated it in a closely monitored environment. So now we need to do we need to carry out eradication. So this phase involves removing the root cause of the incident, whether it's a malware or an attacker's access or a system vulnerability. So actions in this stage include things like wiping affected system clean, that is after investigating, right? Applying patches and updates if it is a case of a vulnerable system, right? And also strengthening security measures to prevent reoccurrence. Okay. Next is what? Recovery. So restore and validate system to return to normal operation. So this is the stage where we are going to be restoring and we are going to making sure that the system is restored back to normal operation. So validate that in this stage now will be validating that affected systems are clean and secure, right? We'll also be monitoring for any sign of lingering threats, right? We also communicate recovery status key to stakeholders in this stage. So this is the recovery stage. Then very, very important, stage 6, very, very, very important. In fact, I could say this is the most important, right? We must learn our lesson. So what is the lesson learned? So after the incident is resolved, we must conduct a post-incident review. It is at this stage that we analyze the incident and the response. So how fast were we? How good is our process, right? Is our process good enough? Okay, what are the loopholes in the current process that we have? So these are like things that will be looked at, right? So proper analysis of the incident and the response, right? And then identify areas for improvement. So how can we make sure that when next we get breached, we have a shorter response time? Okay, our communication is good, but can we make our communication better? So identify area for what? For improvement. And then next is what? To update the incident response plan accordingly, right? So update the incident response plan accordingly. All right. So yes, so that is the life cycle of an incident response. So please let me know if you have any question in the comment section. Let's take questions quickly as we proceed. Please, questions. Please, your questions should be related to what we are studying for tonight, please. So, okay, so happiness says, what is the meaning of post-incident? So, the post-incident is the period or the era after an incident has happened. So, period or era after an organization has been breached. Sorry, that is post-incident for. So after incident, that's just the simple layman meaning happiness. All right. So more questions, more contribution. Please, if you have any contribution, please feel free to drop it in the comment section, please. So, okay, what is SIM? So, SIM is Security Information and Event Management. So, it's a tool that is used to, we call it, we call it visibility. There's something we call visibility. So, when we talk about visibility in security, so what can you see? So, it is a tool used for visibility in the network. So, what do I mean by this? Okay, you must be able to see what is happening in your network. So, it's the same tool is one of the tool that helps you monitor and see what is happening on your network. Okay, so what kind of traffic is coming into your network, what kind of traffic is going out of your network, stuffs like that. So that's it. Rachel. So Jesu Gbemisola, when a ransomware successfully encrypt the organization data, was it that it was not identified on time? So that's a case of an incident. So it can happen. I mean, definitely, maybe there are a lot of reasons it could happen, but it happens sometimes, even with using world-class tools. Maybe there's a rogue employee, right? If you have a rogue employee, right, who is encrypting your data from inside, so there's little to what you can do. So there are a lot of reasons why this could happen. Okay. Okay, so we have Dami Damitale, can Trojan spread to other systems through network? Okay, so if you mean Trojan, if your question was for malware, yes, remember we said there's a group of malware known as worm that have the ability to what? Self-replicate. So they could self-replicate across the network, right? But for Trojan, you need if it's a Trojan, the Trojan malware, you need to send it, or somebody needs to download it. You get, so it doesn't have the ability to self-replicate. Okay. All right, thank you very much, Damilola. Preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and lesson learned. Thank you very much for that, Dami. Okay. All right, so Oluwake West. So I can't hear you. Please, if you can't hear me, please, I think it's probably from your side because everybody seems to be hearing me. So please try to maybe refresh your browser. Yes. All right, so no more question, no more contribution. Can we move on? Okay, so Jesu Gbemisola said, if lesson learned for a particular attack is documented, right, is it possible for same attack to occur in another way from the yes, it's possible. But I mean, if you've encountered it, if it's coming in another way, then you have the experience already. So you should know how to respond to that incident. You understand? So that's one of the beauty of being a human being. So it must not be exactly the same process, it must not be exactly the same, right? But once you see it, you already know something similar has happened, so you know how to work on it based on the past documentation. All right. So I have another one from Damilare. Sir, what team handles incident response? Right. So most time in cybersecurity, we say we have we have like three major team, right? We have the red team, we have the blue team, then we have the GRC, right? The GRC folks, the legal compliance guys, the governance risk and compliance folks. So, right, we call the um offensive security team, defensive security team, and GRC, right? So, offensive security, those are the attackers, right? They are known as the red team. Then we have the defenders, right? Known as the blue team, right? So now, most time, the incident response team falls under the blue team for most organization, right? But then there's also a team known as the incident response team. But most time the incident response team fall under the defensive security team. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Hot Topic. Thank you for that contribution. Okay. So, Onyekwere Miracle, is installing spyware one of the ways an internet attacker? Yes, definitely. They could do that. They could do that. Okay, so this is 25 minutes past time, so we can move. We can move. Let's move on with our slide. So we have best practices for effective incident response. So we'll be looking at the best practices for an effective incident response, right? So number one, you need to conduct regular drill. So periodic simulations such as tabletop exercises or live fire drill ensures that the team is ready to respond when an incident occurs. So what this means is, okay, after drafting out the incident response, you need to practice. So you need to simulate things. So we don't just wait till the D-Day before we know where there are loops. We don't just wait till the D-Day to know where we can actually improve. We don't just wait till the D-Day to know how our team members are going to respond. Our team members are also going to react. Right. So there periodically we are supposed to what conduct simulation activities, right? So next is what you need to maintain up to date playbook. Remember I explained what a playbook is the other time, right? So we need to constantly improve our playbook. So our playbook is supposed to be what a living document, or is supposed to be a live document. So different incidents such as phishing, ransomware incidents, insider threats requires different responses, right? So keeping detailed playbooks for various scenario and ensuring that they are what keep a you need to keep a detailed playbook for various scenarios and also ensure they are regularly updated. So if there's a new strain of malware that you guys have noticed, right, and you guys have worked on, so create a playbook for it. Understand? So constantly improve your playbook so you make sure that your playbook is not what outdated. Right? Then focus on continuous improvement. You need to focus on what? Continuous improvement. So incident response is an ongoing process. You need to understand is that it is an ongoing process. So after every incident or drill, you need to what? Review performance. You need to make necessary updates to the plan and also improve based on the lesson learned. Right? So you also need to what? Improve based on the lesson learned. So you see that there's a lot of what? Focus on continuous improvement. So you keep making sure that the process is better, making sure that the process is better. So you don't wait till the final day. Do you understand? You don't wait till the final day before you find out if your process is good or not. You don't wait till the final day, right, to find out where you can improve your process. So you keep refining your you keep refining your process till the D-Day, and then you are sure you can easily move on that day. Right? Then what? You need to use automation. So incident response automation tools such as SOA platforms can help streamline repetitive tasks such as alerting, log correlation, and basic triage. So you need to automate things. Okay, so you notice, okay, there are repetitive tasks. You automate them. There are things you could automate. That's part of what? Improving, and improving. So automation is what? Part of what? Improvement, right? Then you need to build a strong security culture, right? You need to build a strong security culture. So incident response is not just the responsibility of the security team alone. No, you need to encourage organization-wide awareness and accountability so everybody is vigilant. So one thing you need to understand as a security person is that security of an organization is not just limited to the security team. Because at the end of the day, we have other people working in the organization who might go ahead to what? Click on malicious link, download malicious file attachment. So you need to make sure that everybody understand that security is everybody's job. So you need to what? Build a strong security culture. How do you do this? You must encourage organization-wide awareness and accountability so that everybody is vigilant. Okay? Yes, so we are now in this, we are getting close to the end of the slide. So, yes, so interactive session. Any question, please, guys? Question, contribution, answers. All right, question, contribution. Now is a good time to drop it, and then we can proceed, right? Okay. Okay, so sir, is automation like ATM machine we use in bank? Yeah, I mean ATM machine is fulfilling automation, right? So instead of going to check all those manual process, you just have a machine and then you quickly get your thing done. So ATM is, yeah, automation. You can classify it as part of automation. Yeah. Thank you, Florence. Adinyinka. Everybody is so much focused on the banks in this our class. That's very interesting. It seems you guys have a nudge for the banks, or is it that you like money? All right, so I'm expecting more questions. I'm expecting more contribution, guys. All right, same. Everybody is tired today because I don't. The energy is not the same as we had yesterday. Okay, so guys, thank you. So yes, common challenges in incident response. So what are the challenges you are supposed to expect, right? So what are the challenges we are supposed to expect when working out an incident response plan? Okay, so one is what? Lack of resources. So you must understand that as a security person, most time, right, it's hard for the management team to see your value because you are not helping them make money. In fact, most time you're just taking money from the management. It's not like you're part of maybe the marketing department or maybe the development department where they see that okay, this feature is bringing in more money. Most time you are just taking. So you must be able to what? Find a way to explain to the organization that this money we are taking for you is for the good of the organization. Now, there's a popular saying, right, in the information security world. They say when security is done correctly, nothing happens. So think about it. Okay, if everybody is doing their job right and we are making sure that the organization is secure, right, that means the organization is not going to get hacked, right? Now, if an organization doesn't get hacked for let's say 10 years and they are giving you a certain amount of money, they've been giving you a certain there's a budget for the security department for 10 years and you guys have been working, you've been doing your very possible best and the organization does not get hacked for that 10 years, right? There is a tendency because I mean we are all human, there's a tendency for that for the management team to probably think that oh maybe these guys are not doing anything, they are just collecting our money, but you must understand that it is because they are giving you that money that they are not what getting hacked, so they need to keep giving you the money. So you need to make sure that you find a good way to what to communicate this to the management team. So many organizations face resource constraints, so such as limited personnel. Now, resources is not just limited to money. You must also understand that it also involves individual. It also involves professional. So limited personnel or tools, making it difficult to respond to incidents quickly and efficiently. So this is one of the challenge faced by facing incident response, right? The next one is what? Poor communication. So breakdowns in communication I have here can lead to confusion during an incident. And the last thing you want to have during an incident is what? Confusion. So you must ensure communication channels are clear and well defined so people don't get confused during an incident. So next is what? Slow incident detection. So if incidents are not detected early, they can escalate and cause significant damage. So we must try as much as possible to detect an incident as early as possible. So use tools that provide real-time alert and continuous monitoring. So we must try our very possible best to detect an incident as soon or as early as possible. So the more late the detection is, then the more the damage. Okay, right? Then we have inconsistent documentation. So failure to document actions taken during an incident can hinder future and legal investigation. right? So ensure detailed logs are kept throughout the response process. So remember documentation so we can learn from it, right? So if somebody is coming to handle the same incident in the future, they know how to what to respond to it, they know what to do. So we must make sure that we do not have an inconsistent documentation. So we must make sure that our logs are what are detailed. So we put down all the necessary information. Yeah, so that will be all. So I want to take question and contribution even as we round up for tonight, guys. So your questions and your contribution, guys. So question, guys. I'm still waiting for your questions and your contribution, guys. Okay, so swap platform, please. Um, that is outside what we are supposed to discuss today, so I don't want to get into explaining some things, right? So let's not shift the attention for today, right? But ISOA, right? Just high level overview, right? Think of it as a SIM, but it has like a lot of automation in place. Yeah, think of it as a SIM too, but there is a lot of automation in place. So it's yeah, let's put it that way. Okay, so I have one from Jesu Gbemi Sola say when bad actors pretending to be from bank make use of some part of our bank details in order to get further information. Could it be that there was a data breach? Yes, probably. Yes, your thought is valid. Jesu Gbemi Sola Ilori. Yes, this is valid. This is valid. It could be. It could be. Right. Damilola Oladapo, Mr. Emmanuel, number three of common challenge. Okay, so let's take a look at number three. Okay. So slow incident detection, right? So you need to make sure that what you detect incidents early enough, right? So you need to detect it early enough. So that's what we mean. So if now I have here, if incidents are not detected early, they can escalate and cause significant damage. So the earlier you detect an incident, the smaller the level of damage that incident is going to cause, right? Okay. So what which other one? I hope I'm not missing anyone. Okay. Um okay, thank you, Dami, for your wonderful comment. Okay. Onyekwere Miracle, sir, that's social engineering, right? I want to believe you are talking about Jesu Gbemisola's comments. Yeah, that's social engineering. Most of these bank scammers, right? They use social engineering. Yes. Okay. So I am still waiting for comments before we wrap up for tonight. Okay, so no more comments. So I want to let's proceed. So conclusion for tonight. So key points from our session tonight, right? So incident response is a critical aspect of an organization security posture, right? So we need to plan for the D-Day, right? Then next is what the incident response life cycles ensure a structured approach towards managing incidents. So you need to there needs to be a proper structured step that you follow when you are what carrying out an incident response, which is what incident response life cycle, right? Continuous improvement, training, and automation will help to make incident response more effective, right? Then teams must be well prepared and equipped. So you must make sure that teams are well prepared and equipped with the right tools, the right procedures, and communication plan to respond effectively. Right. So keep hammering on what communication. Communication is very, very important in an incident response in order to what avoid confusion. So, thank you very much, guys, for tonight. We've come to the end of this session. So, very short, very straight to the point. I hope you learned tonight. Thank you for my teaching assistant in the comment section. I think I need to thank Damilola for always coming to answer questions for me. I appreciate your work, Damilola Oladapo. Yes. I'm sorry, Damilola Adeniyi. Yes, that's Damilola Adeniyi. And we have another Damilola Oladapo. Yes, so thank you very much, guys. And if you also help in attending to question in the comment section and I didn't call your name, please don't be offended. Thank you also. Thank you very, very much. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for the wonderful feedback. I appreciate. So I hope you guys are learning. So please let's keep learning. Let's not get tired. Let's not get tired. Let's keep learning, guys. So, all right. So, thank you all for tonight. I will see you in the very next one. I will see you guys in the very next one and also on the group. On the group. So, let's keep the chats rolling on the group. Yes. So, thank you all for tonight. Please have a good night rest. Yes.